Hi, my name is David Willmouth, and I was wanting to share an event that happened today in my life, my time here on this earth, and I've always wanted to make a video, but I've just always been a little too shy, I guess, and I finally got up the nerve, got up the courage to, I thought I'd try to make a movie, a little movie, and I'd try to share my thoughts on things, and maybe if someone else would want to comment on, their experiences with the Lord and whatever. We don't always have to talk, but my focus will be on the Lord, because of course that's the most important thing in my time. And so anyway, let me just go ahead and start here. I was on the public bus system today here in Kansas City. I live in Missouri, and I had just an encounter with just the rudest man. He bumped into me, and he said, "Get out of my way, you crazy hair, blah, blah," and cussing and cussing and cussing, and just up a storm. And I said, "Pardon me, mister, but I just, I'm trying to go to my seat. I'm not trying to bother you." And it was F this, and I could not believe the words coming out of this man's mouth. And I just sometimes it's really hard to keep your composure and not, you don't want to argue back, you don't want to lose yourself. And it really made me think, and it made me come across a passage, I've turned to before in the past, and so I thought I'd start off with one of my favorite passages. It's one that's really meant a lot to me, and so I figured I'd start here. So, my Bible and me have weathered the storm together, literally. I like to say, it's not. I like to start out. Me and the wife were driving through Fort County, and we encountered my son. He's a good boy, but sometimes he just doesn't listen. Sometimes I don't really know how to discipline him correctly sometimes, but we were driving through Kansas, and we stopped and had a little. We packed some sandwiches, and we had a little bite to eat at the rest area, like where the big trucks they stop. A lot of times we stop there, save a little money. It's times are tight, save a little money, and we had a little lunch packed. And we got out, and I reached in the back to get my Bible, because I was going to have to say a few words before we ate our meal. And I looked in the back, and my goodness, it'd been storming earlier that day, and my little boy, he's the greatest, Mark, he's a good boy. He is, but sometimes with the help of the Lord and the occasional paddle, he has started to come around a little bit, and he's trying now. So this is a long time ago, but anyway, he left the window down, in a storm, and fell asleep in the back, and it rained all over my Bible. But hey, we hung in there. We weathered that storm, and we weathered many more. So it kind of has that little theme to it. So I do like that about it. So it gives me a little extra story to tell people. And anyway, let me get to the point. This man had really rattled me, so it just really made me ponder, and I pondered, and I thought, it reminded me of one of my favorite passages. So here we go. This is in Ephesians. It's the book in the Old Testament. It's Ephesians 26. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. Do not let the devil get a foothold. And, before I went to bed, I went in and I talked to Margaret. I said, this man, he said the worst words, and they're really stuck in my mind. And but at the same time, he's probably going through some real troubles in his time. And it reminded me that I am not without sin. I'll be the first, right off the bat in my first video, I'll tell you, I've drank alcohol, and I have gambled in bingo parlors. I have not been an ideal, I've had my times under Satan's thumb, and it was not a fun time. It's a very trying time, and sometimes your thoughts can get away from you. You know, Satan will get a hold of that tongue, and the next thing you know, you're saying things you really wish you shouldn't have, and so that's when I like to turn to this passage. And so I told Margaret, you know, I said, that man, you know, he's probably got lots of troubles in his life, and what I want to do is I want us to sit down and let's write a little note that maybe I could pass on to that man. Maybe I can find him on the bus again, and maybe I could bring him to Jesus. And maybe it was, it's part of Jesus' plan to have him run across and, all this. Instead of looking at what a great blessing, this could be a great opportunity to bring someone to the Lord. I've got all angry, got myself all fed up, and I just, it's a really rare opportunity. So we sat down, we got to thinking, we pulled our Bible minds together, and we thought and just talked and laughed, and we came up with a few things, and we wrote them down. I'm going to hand them to that man, and I think that it could make a real difference. And then I put Mark to bed, and I just today it's really made me feel better about things, and I got the note in hand, and I had it with me today, but I didn't run into him today, but I know I will. After I take that bus 200 more times, I will. I will get across, and we'll bring us another one to the Lord. So if anybody has any thoughts or anything they'd like to share, please comment or make your own video. Please do, and God bless. I'll see you in the future.